Kevin Foster.
Well, thank you, Mr Henderson. It's an absolute pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. And in starting, I'd like to congratulate my honourable friend and fellow Jana, the member for East Devon, on securing this debate. You know, Mr Henderson, it is worth recalling where our water quality was back in the mid-1980s. For decades, the South West had some of the cheapest water bills in the country for one simple reason. We used to just dump all our sewage straight into the sea, with no real investment having been made to end that practice until that time. So it does have to be said, those who try and pretend that public ownership innately means great standards of environmental practice do need to think again. But there has been major investment since those times, but it is another initiative started under the coalition government that has brought the issue of water quality back into the headlines. Back in 2013, only 7% of storm overflow outlets had any monitoring on them. As of the end of last year, 100% do. Put simply, the issue and their use has always existed, but it was simply ignored, not monitored. Now, bathing water quality is vitally important for Torbay, especially given the popularity of water sports and sea swimming for both residents and tourists. And it's an issue I've done some considerable work on since being elected. Achievements so far include the completion of a major project at Tor Abbey Sands by South West Water to ensure our bay met the tougher legal bathing water standards which have come in since my election in 2015, and these standards remain in place today. Now, for background, the majority of beaches in Torbay have outstanding bathing water quality, with 11 of the 15 registered beaches in the English Riviera classified as excellent for water quality in 2023. Yet, with Goodwington rated as sufficient, there is need for further work to get all our beaches to good, then excellent ratings. So, to push forward action in the Bay, over the last year I've met with the Chief Executive of South West Water at Meadfoot Beach, which actually does not have an outlet on it, despite some claims, and their Chief Operating Officer at Goodwington Beach to discuss water quality across the Bay and the next steps to invest in it. During my most recent meeting, South West Water recognised the popularity of bathing at Goodwington and the need to improve its water quality rating, with me pushing them for a target of the water quality being rated excellent by 2030, and to be fair to them, this being agreed. We'll therefore see a £6 million programme of investment by 2030 into the infrastructure near to Goodwington and Payton Sands to help to achieve this goal. And it has to be said, though, that this work alone will not see the bathing water at that beach increase to excellent, given the issues with items washed into the sea from surrounding parks and facilities, but it will provide further improvement. It's one of the things we sometimes miss in this debate, is that actually water quality can be as easily affected by what's washed in from a park, particularly in the form of animal waste, along with whatever discharge may be coming from an outlet. I'd also say that the plan for Goodwington and Payton is part of a £27 million plan for investment in the Bay between now and 2030, with the clear goal of excellent at all our beaches. There's also an issue the Torbay Harbour Authority, I must say under the previous Lib Dem Independent Coalition leadership of the Council and the current Conservative leadership have raised regularly with the Environment Agency, which is the need to stop using the same term for both rainfall drainage predictions and actual sewage releases. This is to create clarity for residents and ensure investment is targeted at sewage releases and end any misleading presentations of data by third parties. So, Mr Henderson, I look forward to the Minister's response and would ask you to cover some specific points. The first is what work will be done to hold South West Water to the commitments they have made to invest in further improvements in water quality. Two, alongside the wider plans for our region, how will local communities be able to hold South West Water and other partners, such as local councils, to pledges like the ones recently made relating to Goodwington and Payton Sands? And finally, what steps will he take with the Environment Agency to create greater clarity about what is rainwater draining from land and what is an actual sewage spill? This with the aim of bringing clarity for the public and focus for resource investment. Ms Henderson, progress has been made, but there is more to do, and we do need to keep a focus on this issue and ensure that our water company is held to account to ensure the progress residents expect to see is delivered.